Dynamic development is underway in all regions of Russia. Today let's see how one of the northernmost regions of our country, the Yamalo-Nenets Autonomous District, lives. And there they build sports facilities, new residential areas, relocate residents from old emergency houses to new apartments, support reindeer breeding, build tourist infrastructure, open youth centers, clinics and much more. But first things first. So, last month gave the Northerners not only a lot of positive events, but also created an amazing New Year mood. A ski track was opened in Muravlenko. On the territory of 96,000 square meters there is a stadium, a 3-kilometer-long ski track and additional sports facilities. It is expected that about 10,000 athletes will be able to practice sports at the ski base every year. The complex will be utilized in the summer as well. Runners, cyclists and Nordic walkers are welcome there in the warm season. A ski area building is scheduled for construction in 2024. A new indoor skating rink opened in Noyabrisk on Transportnaya Street. The new ice playground appeared at the suggestion of citizens and thanks to the initiative budgeting project, Rhythm and Cozy Yamal. The Northern Character Martial Arts Center opened in Krasnoselkup. The area of the building is 600 square meters. Athletes will train here in such directions as wrestling, sambo, judo and hand-to-hand combat. Both children and adults can train in the gym. For the young athletes, the first classes have already started. There are 88 people enrolled in the sports sections. All the necessary equipment was purchased for them. In total, more than 300 children are engaged in martial arts in Krasnoselkup. Previously, the district center did not have its own gym for training. With the commissioning of the facility in Krasnoselkupsky district, modern conditions will be created for the development of sports and holding competitions at the regional level. The village of Krasnoselkup was provided with high-speed internet. The main communication line was extended from Tarko-Sale to Krasnoselkup. Its length was more than 80 kilometers. The project was implemented by the Department of Information Technologies together with Rostelecom as part of the national project, Digital Economy. Optics covered about 95% of apartments in high-rise buildings and 70% of houses in the private sector. A new street was inaugurated in Gabinsky. It was named in honor of the energy workers. The street appeared as part of the development of the new 17th neighborhood. The nearly half-kilometer-long street connected the main street and Peace Avenue. The 2-lane roadway is equipped with streetlights, and the sidewalks are equipped with convenient descents. A new house was built in Novi Urengoy for resettlement of townspeople. It is a 7-story building with 172 apartments. It is intended to be used for housing programs. Most of the apartments in it are for resettlement of Novorengoy and Gosselin residents from emergency houses, as well as for provision to orphans. In the yard-made landscaping, there is a playground, a large parking lot. In the neighborhood of builders has the necessary infrastructure, a new kindergarten, shopping center, skate park skateboard, center of martial arts, Northern Character, near the interchange Solar. School number 15 will be renovated. Reindeer herders of the Yamal district received keys to new apartments. 34 Tundravik families moved in. All apartments are fully ready for occupancy and comfortable living. Finishing, installed plumbing, electric stoves, water and electricity meters. In the yard landscaped playground and parking lot. The reindeer herder's house is intended for certain categories of citizens from among the small indigenous minorities of the north who lead a traditional way of life. These are disabled people, veterans of Yamal, citizens over 60 years old. The support measure provides an opportunity to improve housing conditions for northerners waiting on the waiting list for housing under the district program for representatives of indigenous minorities. The accommodation in the reindeer herder's home shall be provided on the basis of a gratuitous use agreement. Residents of emergency housing in New Port moved into new homes ahead of schedule. In Novi Port, Yamalsky district, construction of the house where owners of emergency housing will be relocated has been completed. After their housewarming, the settlement-resettlement program will be closed early. The keys to new apartments were handed over to Karpov residents. The first 12 families moved from emergency housing to capital houses in the Labite non-micro-district of Karp. The apartments are finished, there is plumbing, electric stove in the kitchen. 2 3-story houses are designed for 48 apartments, all of them are intended for resettlement of people from the emergency housing stock. Neighborhoods have been landscaped this summer. Driveways were asphalted, a playground was installed and parking was provided. In place of 6 wooden houses, from which the newcomers moved today, it is planned to erect new capital apartment buildings. Almost 100 families of Tizovsky received keys to new apartments. The newcomers are participants of the program for resettlement from the emergency fund. They will all move into a 4-story building on Pitamino Street. The apartments are finished, plumbing is installed, the yard is landscaped, equipped with a parking lot for 90 cars, children's playground with a playground. At the end of December in Tizovsky, the keys were handed out to new residents in Solnechny microdistrict. 3 houses are moving residents from the emergency fund. The houses were built by the builders of Rus Arctic Stroy, which last year already delivered several houses in Tizovsky. They are built of reinforced concrete slabs. Apartments are delivered with finishing. Laminate flooring, stretch ceilings, wallpaper under painting, energy-saving lamps, heated towel rails in the baths, tiled apron in the kitchen, fire alarm system, gas sensors in each apartment. More than 50 families of the Yamal district moved from emergency housing to new buildings. All new residents are participants of the program on resettlement from the emergency fund. In Salimal settlement, 25 families will move into a new 3-story house on Naberezhny Street. The apartments are finished, plumbing is installed, electric stove in the kitchen, entrance groups are equipped with elevators for the convenience of citizens with limited mobility. The yard is landscaped, there is a children's and sports ground, recreation area and parking. In Yarsala, the new house on Peace Street is built to all modern standards. The apartments are finished on a turnkey basis, the adjacent territory is also landscaped. The driveway is paved, there is a playground and parking. 26 Yarsala families were celebrated at the Seder. This year, construction of 12 houses for more than 300 apartments was completed in the Yamal district. In November, 2 new houses for residents were occupied in the village of Mysai Kameno. The keys to the apartments were given to the reindeer herders of Siaka. Next up for occupancy is a house in Newport. Now in the Yamalsky district, the Russian president's decree on resettlement from the emergency fund, recognized as such before 2017, has been fully implemented. In Tulka, the keys to new apartments were handed over to the workers of the agro firm. Housing in 2 4-apartment houses was provided to 8 families. All the newcomers are employees of the agricultural enterprise agro firm Takanskaya. The houses were built as part of the implementation of the federal program, Integrated Development of Rural Areas. Housing is provided on the terms of commercial lease agreements with the right of subsequent redemption. A new factory for reindeer herders was built in the Yamalsky district. It was built 5 kilometers from the Bawanin field, near the Harasaway River. Year-round, more than 300 families will be able to be supplied during migrations and stay overnight if necessary to build up their strength before traveling. The resting place for nomads is equipped with everything you need. There is a store, a warehouse, a bakery. Generators are responsible for the uninterrupted supply of electricity. Communication works. Gazprom Neft Zapolyarye participated in the construction of the new factories. A 4-story student dormitory in Tarkasala has been completely renovated. Builders repaired the building's facade, making it ventilated. The showers, bathrooms, checkroom, conference room, reading and gymnasiums have been updated. A modern kitchen, laundry room and drying room will make students' daily lives comfortable and carefree. Sections for guys are decorated in green and yellow colors, for girls blue and purple colors are chosen. The builders have tried to create a warm atmosphere in the dormitory, where young people will enjoy both resting and preparing for classes. The polar Urals have become even more hospitable. Mountain shelters for tourists have been installed on Yamal. 2 more residential and 4 sanitary modules for travelers now stand in favorite tourist spots. At the foot of Mount Chernaya, in the valley of the Senka Shore River, in the parking lot at the beginning of the Glacier of Romantics tourist route, and in the territory of the Paradises Massif. Modern modules are equipped with sleeping places, a wood stove, solar panels, sockets and USB connectors for charging gadgets, as well as autonomous satellite beacons with an SOS button, which allows you to quickly transmit information about incidents directly to the Ministry of Emergency Situations of Russia. The first mountain module for travelers appeared on Paradises Massif in 2022. In 2024, 9 more mining modules are planned to be installed near Hadataya Ganler Lake and the Bolshaya Paipudina River at the foot of Mount Lekvosh near the Sob River. A symbol of bravery of Russian soldiers appeared in Tizovsky. There was a grand opening of the monument to the defender of Russia. This artistic composition will become a symbol of indomitable willpower, courage and bravery of fighters, who at all times stood in defense of the motherland. The Sovremennik Youth Center opened in Gabinsky after reconstruction. The youth center has been remodeled, creating new spaces, a conference room, dance room, neon room, recording studio, media studio and makeup room. Renovated the cavorting area with a kitchenette. Volunteers have their own headquarters here. There are more than 3,000 of them in Gabinsky. A playroom with a soft maze, dry pool and developmental toys was set up for children. The overhaul of the children's polyclinic was completed in Salikard. Thanks to the renovation, each pediatrician will have his or her own office assigned to an area. After remodeling, the physio department will move to the first floor. Work on the principle of lean polyclinic will be organized in full. This will allow parents of young patients to save time in the medical center, avoid queues and make doctors' appointments more comfortable. A gas filling station started operating in Muravlenko. The area of the gas station is about 30 square meters. It is equipped with 2 fuel dispensers and can serve up to 40 cars per day. Yamal Spas received a new building in Tarkazal. An administrative building for the Tarkasala Search and Rescue Team of Yamal Spas has been constructed. The area of the new facility is about 800 square meters. 3 more new fire buildings are planned to be opened in Yamal in 2024. 2 of them will appear in Selimal and Pirask villages. 1 fast-erecting facility for the Yamal Spas SCU in Nadam. Veksha Eco Complex opened in Muravlenko. With the help of the Fund for Support of Small and Medium Enterprise Development in Muravlenko, it was possible to create not just a place for recreation, but a portal to another dimension. The main purpose of creating an eco-complex is to reveal the attractiveness of domestic tourism. The creator of the complex came to Muravlenko 3 years ago and immediately felt that the city has a special attraction and wonderful nature. And Veksha is an old Siberian name for a squirrel. At first, the animals were wary of the construction site, but now they are welcoming guests. Hence the name of the complex. The entrepreneur plans to develop a hospitality area to make people feel at home when they come and visit Muravlenkovo Veksha. Attitudes towards squirrels in the north are special. Cities are named after them, they are respected and revered. They are completely unafraid of humans and live peacefully in city parks. A few years ago, a monument was erected in Noyabrisk as a tribute to the animals living in the park, and with the onset of frost, the squirrel family was dressed up. Cute squirrels brighten up winter days, make you smile and slow down in the hustle and bustle of the city. But it's not only in November. On his way to the field, a rotational worker who worked for Gazpromneft bought a doll for his daughter from a Jamaican craftswoman. And to keep the little girl from getting bored, he would send her selfies and photos of Maya, telling her how the doll was spending her time in the fox field. Despite the 60-degree frost, the doll was not cold, because she was wearing a yagushka, a traditional Nenets costume made of fur. During her journey, Maya met a fox, visited a drilling rig, and peeked into a laboratory where she saw oil of an unusual green-brown color. A photo report by a Gazpromneft Zapoliaria shift worker and selfies of Maya were so liked by social media users that they turned into a real challenge. All cities in Yamal are unique, each has its own zest and something to see. And recently, experts from the Higher School of Business published a list of 7 cities where you can plunge into a winter fairy tale. You can really feel the Siberian winter and the New Year in Salakard. Salahard town on the Arctic Circle is home to one of the northernmost wizards of Yamal-Iri. He wears the traditional clothing of northern people's hunter's belt with mammoth bone jewelry, braiding his hair and beard into pigtails. Besides the staff, his traditional attribute is a tambourine to rid people of bad thoughts and make the wicked kinder. But other cities of Yamal are ready to surprise with their festive decorations. New Year's holidays are over, creative everyday life has begun, and 2024 will bring us many more good events.